Hey folks, and welcome to the Pipnotic Symposium today on the 23rd of May 2025. Just wanted to show you a quick update here. So we've added the asset strength histogram. I brought it back in because a popular demand, and it's a great tool to have. And now it's sorted after the time frames here, but what I'll actually set it to do is to set it to sort on assets, on the asset name. And I like this because here you can see we have the Aussie Kiwi, and they're both in the buy zone, which means that the Aussie Kiwi is low. Actually, all three right here. Look at that. So this is telling us that we probably formed a low, and now we're slowly wriggling higher. And this is across all three time frames, which is super powerful. Okay, we have the same going on. Not quite. We have the Aussie dollar here, which is tall, looking to move lower. And then on the smaller time frames, we're having a bit of a pullback lower, moving higher. So this is just a really nice way to kind of get this information out there. And now it's running on the VPN. Fingers crossed, it keeps running. It requires a bit of horsepower because there's loads of scanning going on. My poor VPS might have to get upgraded to be able to run all this stuff, but it's looking good so far. So now it's cruising. So we have the supply and demand here, these signals, these alerts coming in. We've got the asset strength histogram now, I just added. And of course, we have the buy and sell zone. Here we have all the trades coming in, which is really cool. And then we can see the equity of the algo over time, which is super nice. And we have this as well for the asset strength reversion, which is pretty cool. And I don't have a lot of data, but it's slowly building. I started building this, or rather collecting data, from about a week ago, as you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is today. This is yesterday. So when we start getting stuff ticking in, then it'll get updated. So that's pretty cool. Yep. So that's what we've got there in the dashboards. Okay. All right, and then let's go to the charts. Okay, so what I've been doing a lot is I've been racing through these pairs a lot. It's really remarkable, this software on TradingView. The zones that it's finding on TradingView are pretty similar to the ones it's finding on MT4. I've moved over to TradingView now for a little bit of my trading, and I do a little bit of my trading on MT4, the algo stuff in MT4, and a little bit of the discretionary stuff. Otherwise, I do most of my my discretionary trading on the TradingView charts because I just really like it. And so what we can see, these really remarkable zones, and I mean most of these are working. Obviously, there are going to be ones that don't work, but you also have to focus, where price is. For example, let's just find stuff. If you look at this here, we have, right here, you wouldn't take a zone that's inside here. You would take zones that are outside, above it or below it. Okay, and you have this. You have like a little spot here. You would take zones that are above this or below this. Okay, and so you have to wait for those zones that stick out, and they really stick out. If we look at this bit here, price is left. Okay, and we had some attempts to move lower, and you can see they did not succeed. And so when prices come down to here, they're probably going to give us a bit of a reaction, or rather a big enough reaction so that we can actually get a trade on. And so what I'm doing in the morning is I'm simply just clicking these on like this. Look at this one here. It's crazy. This one here, it's like it's in the middle of this mess. You want to look above these highs, and there is no zone above here. It's going to be over here. Okay, so you want to look above, and here you have we have this just here, test, break, trade. Okay, and here we have test, break. The origin here, trade it from here. Okay, and here we have micro demand, test, break. The origin down here, trade it. Okay, and here we have, there's not a lot going on here. This is in the middle. This is between this low and this high. This is in the middle of the range, so you wouldn't do that, but you would take this one here. We have another one forming here. I would not take this one here. Why? Because it's in the middle of this mess. You'd want to look higher. Okay, so I'm doing I mean, super simple trading now, and I just click through these. Like, so when I just look for these zones that are outside of the range of the given place. And so you can see here, prices went down, we came back, and we moved up. And so this one here, ideally, I mean, we would move this. Let me just reorganize this one. Buy limit, $1,000. So I would be pretty happy in doing something like this. Okay, because this is below the lows. This is outside the range. Low, high. If prices come below here, man, there's a very high likelihood that prices are going to bounce there. Okay, so pay attention to that. Identify the trading range and get in there. Here we have an hourly trade. I just took wait, no, not this one here. This I really like. Okay, and again, we have kind of the range. We have an origin. Okay, we had tested, destroyed. From where? From here. Okay, so you wanna look to trade from around these areas. Let me put it above there. Reduce this risk a little bit there. Okay, and so I mean this is good. We tried to get up there, right there. We failed. If we go above there again, we're probably going to be met with a bunch of sellers. What did I think I got a little bit quick there. Okay, and so if we go above here, we're likely going to be met with some selling. Okay, in the overall trend, we have a high, low, lower high, inefficient move. We're bouncing. My guess is we're going to feed into here somewhere, and then we're going to move and challenge these lows here. And so, price is probably going to come down here somewhere. I don't know, around here somewhere. Okay, going on. Let's look at this one here. What are we looking at? This could be, yeah, this is a really nice bit here, where price, we had test. We broke through it. The origin is here. Entry, stop below it, and the target. Okay, so I'm doing this really quickly, and I'm only looking at the 1 hour and the 4 hour at the moment. I'm really focusing on these. Here, I think I had a trade here. This is, I think, a loss here, where I had a high, a low, a lower high, and a lower low, and I thought that this one would work out. What is this? The pound Kiwi. I took a loss on the pound Aussie. You can see that in the trades, where there's a bit of a silly mistake. Oh, it's a pain because this recorder, I don't have my drawing thing, but I had a zone in here, somewhere like that, and I had my stop just above it. We tested the zone, we hit my stop, and then we dumped. I was like, gosh darn it, as they say. Yeah, so here you just want to look for those areas where we had respect. We tore through it. Okay, the origin of that move is right here. This is probably going to give us a bit of support, this low here. Okay, moving on, just moving down to all of these. Oops, where's the software gone? All right, there we are. Okay, so I'm just looking for these places where we have lows or highs that are tested, and then price rips through it. Okay, we had a little demand here, tested. Let me zoom in so it's clearer. Tested. We moved through it. The origin of the move is this supply. Price came up to it, and we tore away. Okay, this is super powerful stuff, and it's pretty simple. Here we had some supply in here. Why? Because we moved below this low. We kind of moved into it. As you can see here, here's the zone. Tested. We ripped through it. We tested. Okay, this is where we turned. Okay, this one here, let's start with this one here. We had this one here. This is a really tiny poker zone. I wouldn't have touched this, so we'll skip it. Here we had another one. I would have skipped that. Why? Because this low is below this zone at demand. Okay, so we had demand, tested. We pulled the slingshot back. We fed into this zone. We took it out, as a matter of fact. So we managed to kind of load the boat here. And so the expectation of this zone holding is not very good. It did, but we need rules, okay? And this is not a trade I would have taken. This zone is now gone. This zone consumed this zone. Okay, and now it's gone. It was tested. It was removed by what? By this one here. Price gapped into it. Let me kind of Go like that so we can get a proper look at it. Okay, consumed, whew, slingshot, we gapped into it, and then we disappeared and haven't looked back. Okay, we had another zone here. Would you take this one? No. Why? Because we just tested supply. Okay, big zone, slingshot, huge move. There's liquidity in here. Okay, you don't want to take a demand where prices just tested the opposing supply. Bad idea. So try and avoid that. Let's keep going. We move on to this one here. Here we've got another one where we have a test, demand. Okay, prices came down. We moved below this low. That's good. We accumulated at this little price structure, and we rallied, accumulated, and then we tore north. Has price been back to here? No, it hasn't. There's black space all the way along. This is super fresh, super fresh. Okay, we're starting to turn bullish, as you can see. I mean, the higher highs and higher lows. We've got a little zone here. So what I'd expect prices to do is to inefficiently race down here, bring us in, and then begin to challenge the highs, moving prices likely up here from here. Okay, that's my anticipation at least. We'll do one more. I'm going to try and keep this this nice and short. We've got a zone here, tested, we tore through it. Look at that inefficiency. Price went all the way down here. Keep in mind, we had a low, we traded below it. I would have been much happier buying down here than I would selling up here, but I'm going to give it a shot. Okay, I'm going to give it a shot nonetheless, because we are starting to break prices. This is kind of one of those price patterns at a sell zone. We have supply tested. We went a little bit deeper, so I'm thinking we'll probably come up here and then move a little bit lower. Okay, anyway, just some ideas and some thoughts. Take a look. Let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.